What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So as you guys may remember, last week our 2011 Mazda 2 was in a car accident.
And we drove all the way to Abilene, Texas to get 2 brand new doors. Well, new used doors.
And over the last week or so, HP's been working to accumulate all the parts that we need to get this car repaired and back onto the road. But we were waiting to get official approval for this damage claim from Turo, which we actually got last night. And so in today's video, we're going to be breaking down how much we got paid out for this damage claim, how much it cost us for all of the parts, what exactly HP had to do to get this car up and running, and of course, how much we made at the end of the day.
But before we dive into numbers, Aubrey has a meeting to get into, and I've got a car to repair, so let's get started. There's so much water in there. So as you can see, we've got both the doors off, the fender and the headlight assembly off of our Mazda 2, but we can't just junk those parts quite yet. We still need a little bit of stuff off of them. The doors that we bought did not come with the inside shell of the door, and as you can see, they have cut a few different areas of some of the wiring off, which is really unfortunate because it would have been like a nice plug and play where I could just simply plug in the door, put the door skin on, and connect all the connectors. But unfortunately, it looks like I'll have to replace this wiring harness, which isn't too bad of a job, but I'll need to put them on first before I can do just that. So one thing I noticed is that this was actually the more up trim scale model from the vehicle that was wrecked in Abilene, and ours is not the cool upscaled model, and I can tell by a couple of things. For one, I have no idea what this little doohickey is. I think it's a little puddle light sensor that probably plugs in and shines a little light whenever you open the door. Ours doesn't have that. It's missing that little doohickey right there. But also, there's a nice little tweeter right here that goes for the speaker. So if you had a nicer stereo system, that's what you'd have. Ours doesn't even have that connection branching off of it. It just doesn't have that many speakers, just has one. So one thing that is good is that we are replacing this entire sensor and harness. So a lot of the stuff that we do need, like the door impact sensor is still there, and the window regulator motor, everything is the same. It's just gonna be missing those 2 key components. So I will be sure to check and count all the pins to make sure that the pins are correct and it's not something that we're gonna be needing. Because oftentimes this little speaker will just bridge off the power off of this little speaker right there. It's not a big deal. Should make a world of difference since we're replacing the harness anyways. 24, 25, 26 pins. Just as I presumed. Definitely has more pins, about like 6 more. So not a completely big deal. Let's replace it. Now with all the important stuff switched over from our old door to our new door, now it's time to put it on. So now on to the last door, but we'll save you guys from having to watch this. Bam. And just like that, in a snap, I've got the door all fixed. It opens and it works so far, and the front one is all done. Now, with the fender already installed, time to move on to the side marker light and the new headlight that we had to order. This one's gonna take a bit of finessing in two hands, so. Now, with the headlight all freshly installed, all the bulbs came with the headlight, which is really nice about buying a brand new headlight. But the downside is, now this headlight looks amazing compared to the other one, which is all ruffled up after 11 years of use. So when this car comes back from Autobahn, where it's gonna get an alignment to make sure the alignment specs are good after getting hit by the guardrail, I'm gonna come back, freshen up the headlight with a new headlight restoration kit that I bought, and then I'm going to finish up any other small scratches and wording from all the salvage yards that are left on the car, and wrap up the rest of that body damage that's on the rear, which just needs a little freshening up from a hammer. And right behind me is the final product. It's not super finished. There is some small stuff that I'll have to do, but overall this is pretty much what a repair looks like. Both doors have been replaced. I experimented with kind of beating some of this out and kind of getting it more level, but the way it was hit kind of crumpled some things like a Coke can, so I may be able to pull some of it more out, maybe touch up the paint a little bit. And then moving on to the front fender, this scratches underneath the dirt were a little more prevalent after I cleaned it off. So I will go through and try to clean up some of these scratches, maybe take some compound to them, and even do a paint pen on it as well. The bumper actually came out pretty good. Everything lines up well, and the headlight fits perfectly after some good adjustments. So aside from some small scratches, everything looks really good.
Now, whenever we're dealing with a damage claim, especially one that was as substantial as this one, the name of the game is really getting it as close to how it previously was as possible. And very rarely is the car ever going to be in its previous condition, just because it's hard to get all of the parts and it's hard to replace all of the things cosmetically that need to be replaced in order to get it to 100%. But this car's pretty dang close.
And one important thing to remember is that the car is 11 years old and it's expected to have at least some type of door dings, normal wear and tear if you will. So leaving some of these scratches behind and not repaired is not really affecting the overall quality of the car.
But now let's dig into the numbers.
So now let's break down the cost of what we spent. For the doors, $433. What the heck? No. For the fender, $85. For the lights, $225. Bringing our total cost for all these parts to $743. And for the insurance claim, our total payout was $5,409. Making our total profit $4,666.
Now, obviously, there is a little bit more to this than what is shown here. For example, we're not taking into account our time to go to and from Abilene, the cost of gas to get there, as well as HP's time to take apart and then put back together the Mazda, which was quite a significant amount of time. But to be honest, no matter which way you slice it, this Mazda claim was definitely a win. We were able to repair the car and we were able to make some extra money on top of it, which will definitely make up for the fact that the car is going to be sitting for a couple of weeks in total.
As always, guys, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next episode.